your carpet, there's 400 bags of this on top of it.
There's not a damn thing wrong. They could be taken out of a bath, they could be washed. You don't have to wash them, I'll wash them.
This is why I said to you, things that you want are going to get thrown away.
You. Go ahead and take it.
You know what?
Because right now,
And if I don't see an expiry date and it was near things that are 2015, we assume they're 2015.
No, that one's.
I haven't seen a label like that in a long time.
Yeah.
This is not a current label.
That's jam. It has a lot of sugar. It'll be okay.
Buckle up, here's a doozy. Vicky struggles to articulate her feelings about her hoarding behavior and her inability to break the cycle. She expresses a lack of direction and control, revealing her psychological turmoil. This moment sets the stage for understanding her mental state.
I'm doing it anymore, and I don't know how to break the cycle.
My name is Cherish, and Vicky is my mother. My mom's house doesn't exist anymore. When you walk in, it's just a wall of stuff. You can take 3 steps in front of you and go straight up the stairs and into my mother's room and into my brother's room, and that's the only navigation through the house.
Get ready for the roller coaster. Corey Chalmers, extreme hoarding cleanup specialist, steps in to save the day. He points out the disastrous state of the house and underscores why they desperately need this cleanup for Vicky's and her family's well-being. This is where the action really kicks off.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. We are all here today with one purpose, for Vicky. My name's Corey Chalmers. I'm an extreme hoarding cleanup specialist. Vicky, the way that this house has been functioning, not a healthy lifestyle at all, okay? We need to get this resolved so that you can keep your house, you can keep your marriage, and you can keep your son.
Did that just happen? Yep, it did. As they start clearing out, Vicky's not having any of it. Her anxiety and resistance to ditching her hoard are through the roof, showing how deep her attachment goes. It's a real eye-opener into the emotional tangle of hoarding. Keep watching. The drama cranks up a notch.
Jewelry and the family pictures out, and that's torture.
Listen, you're already getting worked up, and we haven't even touched the first thing yet, okay? Don't let your anxiety get the best of you before you even know what the true process is like, okay? We haven't challenged you on anything yet. We're not going there yet, okay? Let's just sort this stuff into piles and see what we have in about an hour, okay?
Things are heating up. Vicky gets fired up over donating items, sparking a heated clash. She's all about keeping control, showing just how tough it is for her to let go. The cleanup crew is in for a wild ride as they face her fury.
There's not going to be any more donation junk, whatever. When I say put it over here in this pile, it's going to go in that pile, and that's where it's going to stay.
Why are you irate right now?
Because I'm not going to play the game.
We're not playing any
games. There's a lot of doing there, and I do realize that. No, I'm going to finish, and if y'all...
Holy smokes, check this out. Vicky's temper hits the roof as she flat out refuses help and butts heads with her daughter, Cherish. She's so fed up she wants to call off the whole cleanup, showing just how stressed and strained the family ties are. This meltdown is off the charts.
Vicky is in a complete rage. We have a crisis on hand still. Her house is not in order, and if we leave, I've got to make a report to CPS.
I feel like if all of this stuff goes away, some of these problems will go away too.
This is one day.
Can they even bounce back from this? After a slew of tense exchanges and face-offs, Vicky decides she's done and abruptly ends the cleanup. She waves off the crew and her family's efforts, wrapping up what was a chaotic and emotionally charged intervention. This abrupt end highlights the unresolved issues and Vicky's stubborn stance.
I had enough. I'm going to leave.
I'm just going to get rid of it now.
Touch my stuff, and that's it. You might as well can go.
When they worked together and they took our instruction, everything was going fine. But as soon as Paul took it upon himself, throw things on the truck without...
You'll never guess what comes next. After the storm has passed, the house looks a bit tidier, but the emotional and psychological messes are still a hot mess. The cleanup folks worry the hoarding habit might just make a comeback. This reflective pause makes you think about the quick fixes versus real solutions. And the next bit, it's a real tearjerker.
To be honest, the house looks pretty good right now. It's emptied out, all the stuff was removed, but she didn't address the issue. She wants to go through it all by herself. She wants to load it up on a trailer and take it to her dad's house. Nothing got resolved, nothing got worked through. Her problem still exists, and the house will probably fill up again.
The house has been cleared enough so that a report to CPS does not need...
Grab your tissues, this is a tough one. Cherish lays it all out, sharing her disappointment in her mom's inability to stick with changes and her own weariness from the emotional toll it's taken. This final highlight really paints a picture of the ongoing struggles families face when dealing with hoarding, pointing to the lasting impacts beyond just cleaning up. What's next for them? Stay tuned to find out.
I don't know if she
can do it. I don't know if she can do any of this. And I don't know if I can try to help her anymore. It's so exhausting.
Can you believe what just happened? Carolyn just stepped into the spotlight as a home health care assistant and a self-confessed mega hoarder. She's spilling the beans on her clutter catastrophe that's taken over her house like a squishy, space-stealing alien invasion, including the hallways and stairwells. Navigating her home is like an obstacle course. Brace yourself, because this tale's about to take a wacky twist.
Carolyn, and I'm a home health care assistant. I am definitely a hoarder. There's no question about it. I've let it get completely out of hand. There's stuff in the hallways, there's stuff on the stairwells, there's stuff everywhere.
Hold on to your socks, folks. Turns out Carolyn's been playing a real-life game of finders keepers with stuff that isn't hers. Her family and friends have busted her nabbing goodies from them and even swiping swag from stores. Yep, she's a regular cat burglar, except it's all junk. You've got to see what's up next. It's a doozy.
Unfortunately, the way my mom gets most of her stuff is she steals it. I've caught her stealing stuff from us. Family members have caught her stealing stuff from them. Friends have caught her stealing stuff. We've caught her at the store stealing stuff. She just has to take things.
No way, there's more. Carolyn waxes nostalgic about the good old days with her hubby, who kept her hoarding habit in check. But post-hubby, she's been hoarding like it's going out of style, thinking it plugs the gaping hole in her heart. Strap in, because the emotional roller coaster is just picking up speed.
I was always a hoarder, but I think when my husband was alive, he kind of coached me to try and keep things up better. And if I couldn't do it, then he helped me. Once he was gone, I kind of gave up. I loved him very much, and I acquired a lot more.
This is a real tearjerker, folks. Carolyn admits her hoarding's been a family fun spoiler, seeding distrust and tears galore. Her son drops a bombshell, comparing her to something you'd cut out like a bad haircut. And guess what? The next bit cranks the drama up to 11.
I feel sad that my hoarding has caused so many problems in my family.
You shouldn't have to watch your parents or your family members because you're afraid they're gonna take something from your house.
She's already violated our trust in taking things. At Thanksgiving, I told her, "You're like cancer, I have to cut you out."
Here comes the cavalry. Enter Dorothy Breininger, tidying Titan and Hoarder Wrangler. She's got her eyes on the prize, turning this trash palace into something less horrifying, starting with the kitchen chaos. Buckle up, Buttercup, because Dorothy's about to stir up some serious cleanup magic.
I say the criteria is clear all of it.
Oh, wow. Is that great that your mother just says,
oh yeah,
get rid of it all?
Yeah. I am completely shocked at how good she's doing.
You are throwing your stuff away.
I understand.
What's that like?
Boom! Family feud time. Carolyn gets caught red-handed lying about snatching some super sentimental genealogy papers. The fam confronts her, and things heat up faster than a popcorn kernel in a microwave. This showdown's got more sparks than a 4th of July fireworks show.
She lied. She flat out lied. She told me that she did not take my aunt's genealogy. And she flippin', it's right there.
I'm Dr. David Cutts. I'm a psychologist and I specialize in obsessive-compulsive disorder. Carolyn took some genealogy papers from family members.
Grab your tissues. As the cleanup digs deep, so do the emotions. Dr. David Katz dishes out some psychological insights, comparing the emotional unpacking to peeling an onion. Everyone's crying, and not just because onions stink. They wrap up the heavy moment with a big, squishy group hug. Up next, things get a tad lighter. You won't want to miss it.
You do not get to touch them! You steal! Okay. You're a thief!
This is what my mother sent me.
No, this isn't. Your copies I've seen. When I was a little girl, they came in a manila or a clasp envelope.
I have not left him in the clasp envelope.
Check out the hustle. Carolyn's under the gun to make split-second decisions about her mountain of stuff. She's tossing things left and right, finally getting into the groove of letting go. Her family cheers her on, and it's like a weird, trashy sports event. Watch how this momentum rolls right into the next big find.
I want you to stand right in here. Right. Find any soft stuff and throw it here. Okay. Keep bagging up the soft stuff. Fast, fast, fast.
You want to keep scissors or no?
No, so it's not salvageable.
We're never going to get a girl, but...
Okay. Get rid of it then. I don't think that's worth saving to you. What do those look like on me?
Oh snap, is that a ring? As Carolyn chucks the junk, she unearths her son's long-lost class ring. It's like finding buried treasure, except it's just in a ton of trash. This sparkling find lights up the room and Carolyn's face. The feel-good vibes are flowing, and there's more warm fuzzies just around the corner.
Yay, Grandma, you threw something away.
There is such a big difference for Carolyn from how she was yesterday to today.
We're gonna throw these cans out. They're not gonna be any good. All righty.
You! Today, she was ringing a cowbell.
And for the grand finale, Carolyn's clutter kingdom has been conquered. The house is looking more homey and less horror show. Carolyn dishes out the thank yous and vows to keep her sticky fingers to herself. It's a heartwarming wrap-up to a wild ride. But don't go yet. The after party, featuring family, hugs, and maybe a clean dish or two, is about to start.
I don't want the grandkids to have that problem. I don't want them to think, oh, Grandma's just gonna come and take something. I don't want that ever to be a feeling. I don't want them to have that fear.
Margie pops up and declares she's a hoarder. As soon as you step into their house, boom, you're practically tripping over a still box TV that's been waiting forever to be put up. The place is stuffed with magazines, books, and stuffed animals. It's like a jungle of things they fancy but really don't need. Brace yourself, it gets even crazier from here.
Here we go. I'm Margie, and I'm a hoarder. When you come into our house, you're crowded immediately at the entry with a TV still in the box that needs to be installed. A lot of the things that...
And then there's Bethel, the retired engineer, who's basically the car collector of stuff that doesn't work. He counts off their cars like he's naming Santa's reindeer. 4 in total, including the forgotten Suburban. Add to that a crew of 10 cats, a horse, and a dog named Macy running the joint. Not to mention the possums that hang out like they pay rent. You gotta see what's next. It's a wild ride.
I'm Bethel. I'm a retired engineer, and Margie is my wife. There's 3 cars on the property, no, 4. Let me take that back because I forgot the Suburban. There's 4 cars on the property that don't run.
We have about 10 cats, that number fluctuates, 1 horse.
Oh, and the kitchen scene is a total sitcom setup. Bethel tries to make room to whip up something edible, but it's like an episode of Clutter Kitchen Nightmares with all the gadgets stuffed everywhere. Cooking is basically an extreme sport for them. Just wait till you see how this chaos unfolds further.
Come and eat the cat food and get petted.
The hard part is to be able to find some room to be able to prepare stuff, because the cabinets are piled with all kinds of little gadgets.
Here comes Shannon, the daughter-in-law, with the lowdown on the family's Shop Till You Drop saga. Margie shops not just for herself, but for the whole neighborhood, apparently. It's like her shopping cart has no brakes, and yep, all that stuff piles up at home. Stick around, because the plot thickens, and you're not going to want to miss it.
I'm Shannon, and Margie is my mother-in-law. I'd like to say that they have really good hearts. I think one of the reasons they hoard things is to help other people. When Margie goes out shopping, she's not just thinking of herself. She's thinking of other people. She loves to shop. You know, that's the problem.
Cut to Joe Donna chiming in with some backstory drama. He traces the hoarding habits back to old Depression-era fears thanks to Bethel's folks. Basically, if they got it, they keep it. Forever. The situation is sketchy and getting sketchier, and you'll want to see how they handle the mounting clutter crisis.
I'm Joe Donna, and Margie is my mother. I do believe my dad is a hoarder also. He was raised from parents from the Depression, and whatever they had, they didn't let go of it because they didn't know if they'd be able to replace it. And so that was his upbringing, and he just brought it into the marriage.
Then there's a bit where Margie totally dodges the cleanup advice. She's hanging on to stuff like it's treasure, even when it's covered in mouse poop. Yep, gross, but true. The denial is strong with this one, and oh boy, just wait till you see the next meltdown. It's a doozy.
Realistically, are you able to do that?
Yeah.
It'll never get done.
Yes, it will.
I'm not sure that Margie has really grasped the magnitude of this hoard. Don't think she realizes how much stuff she's actually going to have to get rid of to make this house safe.
Emotions are running high as the family calls Margie out on her priorities or lack thereof. It's like, hello, your grandkids or your cluttered mess. Pick a lane, lady. The tension is thick, and it's about to get even thicker. You won't believe the emotional roller coaster coming up.
Scared to go here, but let's just jump in and try it here. What are the rules that we're gonna have? Is there anything that you can tell me without even looking at it, you know you can go? Like, I got a bunch of old peppers in there that are decaying.
I don't want those dumped because we're gonna can after you guys leave.
Now things get really teary-eyed when they dive into how all this hoarding is messing with family time. It's like Margie's stuff is the uninvited guest at every family dinner. Heartstrings are definitely pulled here, and just when you think it can't get more intense, it does. Next up is a real heartbreaker moment.
None of that is purposeful. It's frustrating. I just don't understand why her things matter more to her than we do.
Okay, you know what? I'm out.
Fine.
I'm out. I love you. I love you. I really do. But I can't help you if you don't help yourself.
This part is straight out of a family drama script. The whole fam is practically begging Margie to clean up her act, literally, because her hoarding is not just a mess, it's a hazard. It's super emotional, and trust me, the drama hits peak levels right after this.
Come see you, it breaks my heart. We've been shut out. Even if I walk out of this house when we're done with this and I never come back, I'll still love her. That'll never stop.
This behavior is your mom's disorder. We have tried.
As the curtain falls on this hoarder's tale, there's a bit of hope, but still a mountain to climb. Margie shows some signs of letting go, but the house is far from cleared. They've managed to make a dent, but it's like emptying a beach of sand with a teaspoon. Keep watching. They're just gearing up for the next cleanup battle.
He does have hope, and as long as someone has that, you're never out of the fight.
I think Margie has made some big step in allowing things to be released from her grab, and I think that's a big accomplishment for her.
Buckle up, folks. Darlene kicks things off by dropping her name and calling her situation a mystical mess, which pretty much means she's got stuff everywhere, but isn't too thrilled about admitting she might be hoarding. She's not big on labels, but hints that maybe, just maybe, she's got a bit of a hoarder vibe going on. This is just the tip of the iceberg in understanding her emotional whirlwind with all her stuff.
My name is Darlene, and I'm surrounded by a complete mystical mess. I don't really like to do labels in life. I probably would be in denial to think that I didn't have hoarding tendencies.
My name is Johnny. I am a very close friend of Darlene's. That house has really taken over her entire life.
Oh boy, here's where it gets dicey. Just when you thought it was all about clutter, we find out Darlene has been living in her backyard because her house is too jam-packed. Her cousin Michaela chimes in, worried sick about wild critters and creepy strangers lurking around Darlene's outdoor crash pad. It's a hot mess that really shows how deep into the woods, literally, her hoarding has taken her.
I'm Michaela, and Darlene is my third cousin. It's not safe. There's an alley right behind her. She's the perfect victim.
She's wild animal walking through her bed. She has strange men walking through her backyard.
Grab some tissues. This one's a tearjerker. Darlene gets real about how much she cared for her granny, ditching her film career to look after her. She paints a picture of a once lovely home, now buried under heaps of who knows what, which is a stark contrast to its days of glory. This heart-to-heart reveals just how tangled her feelings are about the house and all the stuff piling up.
So when Granny started getting sick in her old age, Darlene was one of the only people that started caring for her granny. Darlene is just automatic like that. Granny wanted to die at home.
Since that was like her dying wish, then I gave up my film career for 2 years to take care of her 24/7.
Time for the cavalry to arrive. Enter Julio Rivera, the clutter-busting guru who's about to dive into the chaos of Darlene's house. He's all geared up to get Darlene to make some tough calls on her mountain of belongings, signaling the start of an epic cleanup saga. This is when things really start to shake up in the quest to clear out Darlene's hoarder's haven.
My name is Julio Rivera. I'm a professional organizer. My goal this morning is to get the ball rolling by getting her to make a decision about any item. Got some things that were brought out.
Yeah.
If you want to start taking a look at.
Things are about to get super real. Here comes Sarah Ahmed, a therapist who specializes in hoarding and is ready to tackle the mountain of emotions Darlene's dealing with. It's not easy, as Darlene is pretty overwhelmed and not totally ready to open up, showcasing just how complex and naughty hoarding can be for the mind.
I'm a psychotherapist that specializes in problematic behaviors, including hoarding disorder.
Do I have your attention? I feel like I have equal left-right brain hemisphere synchronization. Right. I like multitasking. It makes me feel calmer and better. Okay. To stop everything.
Darlene's feeling very overwhelmed.
And now, the moment of truth. Darlene starts sifting through her sea of stuff, now dragged out into the light of day, sparking a mix of excitement and anxiety. It's a real eye-opener for her to see all her possessions sprawled out before her, kicking her emotions into overdrive. This bit is crucial, as it's where we see her really wrestle with parting ways with her stuff.
This is exciting.
There you go.
Woo-woo. This is a big deck, Hader. Yeah.
We're finally attacking the makeshift bedroom outdoor.
Oh, they have was it dark in there?
This is a great step.
Your life is getting lighter.
Darlene,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Oh.
This is what I call a win.
Yes, yes.
This is where the magic happens. Wrapping things up, Darlene feels the love and support from everyone around her, and there's a real sense of team victory in the air. Everyone stressing the need for her to keep on keeping on with the support and the clean-out efforts, pushing towards a brighter, clutter-free future. It's a hopeful note that shows just how much potential there is for Darlene to turn things around.
Can we do it as a community?
Yes, please, please.
Go team!
Having all the love and the support of everyone here, it is such an invitation to like step into this new reality. I feel so liberated and I feel like new possibilities, like a real fresh start.